Hey folks, welcome to OctoChats. It is the end of the month again, and we are here to try and update you with a bunch of fun news that we have found for you. So thank you for joining us, and please do let us know where you're joining from. This month, I'm joined by my boss, my manager, the old ball and chain, if you want to call him that. Derek, how you doing?
I've definitely been called worse things, Sarah. No, I'm good. I'm good. Like you say, it's Friday. It's always good when it's a Friday afternoon. So, yeah, everything's good. It's even sunny in Scotland,
I know,
as
it's
you can
amazing.
testify as well.
I've got my shorts on because it's that warm. It's amazing.
That's risky for this time of year. You don't know whether you're going to get sunburn or frostbite.
Very true.
It could be the same day. But yeah,
Awesome. So it's good to have you all here, and thank you, Jerick, for joining me. What we want to kick off first of all is some Octopus Deploy news because there's some fun things happening. And last month we launched config as code, which is a big milestone for the team here at Octopus because we have been working on that for over 2 years. So it's great to have that feature out there and seeing what our customers are using it with. Derek, I know you're doing a webinar soon about that. Do you want to tell us more about that?
definitely. So up on it's May 4th. So may the config as code be with you. That was not deliberate. It just so happened that Webinar Wednesday fell on Star Wars Day. So I'm actually going to be doing. We launched this last November. I did a webinar last September on it, and obviously that was an early access preview with that. So what we've done now is it has the training wheels are off. So what we're basically doing is a follow-up session. It does look quite different to what we did in the original webinar with that early access, but yeah, so I'll be live on the 4th of May with Mr. Peter Gallagher, and we're going to jump in, do some demos, talk about some of the best practices, the patterns that we're seeing. Like one of the things that with the config as code, um, you can store it in alongside, for instance, when you create the Octopus config, you can actually store it in your application code, and that's best practices. So we'll be going through a lot of the patterns. We've been interviewing some people. There's some blogs out there as well. So yeah, we'll basically give a full feature overview of the new bit. And you're right, this is killer. Like, to be honest, it's taken a long time. I know it's been 2.5 years since proof of concept to getting it out. Um, it it is awesome. I've played with it a lot, and the thing I love is obviously we're both from operations into DevOps, etc. Um, and to be honest, I like the UI, right? So the key thing with config as code is whether you're doing it in the portal or via as code, it really doesn't matter, and it source controls everything, so it's really really cool. Plus, yeah, so come along, check it out, and give us some feedback on that feature. I think that's a really cool feature.
Brilliant. And if you do want to sign up on that webinar, head over to the link on screen, so octopus.com/events, and you can sign up and find out details about that. Now, the next thing that we want to give a shout out to is there's lots of roles being hired for here at Octopus, and we hire roles across the UK, US, Australia, New Zealand. Even though we are an Australian-based company, we do hire lots of different places. And Derek, we have we're looking for someone to join our team. Do you want to tell us about that role that you're hiring for?
So yes, I do. I do. I'm really excited about this one. For those on the stream today, you probably know that I and Sarah are Microsoft folk. Obviously, Sarah used to work there. I have not. However, what we're looking for is someone to come along into the community team and actually teach us about Java. So what we've done historically, Octopus Deploy was a .NET tool. I started using it in 2012. So what we're looking to do in the community team is to hire a cloud native solution architect where you can come along, do some presentations, really get out and do some webinars and talks, etc., on containers as well. And we are looking for someone on the east coast of the US where we can, because Sarah, obviously yourself with your accent and my accent, I think is a bit of a giveaway where we are. We're in Scotland. And the rest of the team are in the UK. So we're actually expanding it out to the US as well. Really, really excited about this one. You can check it out. Like obviously, as Sarah's there, please do check under community. But what I'm really excited about this one, Sarah, I think we've got a really great team in place. I think what we're going to do now is really kind of stretch our team a little bit over, say, GCP as well. And obviously, you've been doing some really great stuff with AWS as well. So, yeah, definitely check it out. We're actually interviewing starting interviews in the next couple of weeks. We get some good people, but please do if you fancy it, please check it out. Sarah, you can testify to how awesome it is to work here.
Yeah.
$50 later.
No, it's been great. I joined Octopus about 6 months now ago, or 7 months now, and it's been great fun so far. Great team, great welcoming atmosphere. We have fantastic information online. I don't think I have the link for our handbook, but if you go to handbook.octopus.com, you can find out about our culture, things that we do inside the team, and can we prepare for and either interviewing for a role in our team, or maybe there's, like I say, there's other roles at the moment available. So definitely check out the career section and let us know if you have any questions. So yeah, I think, as you said, Derek, I've been working a wee bit on AWS because I've been trying to stretch myself. So if you are currently on YouTube right now, have a look under our video section, because the webinar that I did on AWS CloudFormation this week is now on demand. You can go and watch it in your leisure, have a look at it. It's definitely a beginner's webinar covering AWS CloudFormation, but it stretched me, and I'd love to hear your feedback, love to hear anything that I may have missed or got wrong. Hopefully I didn't do any of that, but yeah, definitely check it out. Let me know your thoughts, and maybe you'll learn something as well along with me. So with that, let's move on to community news. So it's been great over the last few weeks seeing lots of different people tweet about Octopus at the moment, and there's been some great pictures from people within the community. So we had Carol and we had Simon sharing their pictures of the swag that they received from us. So yeah, we love those kind of tweets. So if you've got any Octopus swag, do share it. If you would like to try and get some Octopus swag, then reach out to us. We can happily try and arrange that. There's various different ways we can reward you with swag, and our swag is amazing. So yeah, definitely lots of things around there. So like we say, do tweet us. We love to see you, and we love to retweet and share what you're doing inside the community. Now, talking about community, we are starting to see events in person, Derek, coming back to the fore. And I know we've got a few things lined up. So you picked out a couple of events you want to talk about. Do you want to share that with the
I am
audience?
very excited to announce that we are at NDC. We're actually at NDC London next month. So I'm back out. I'm ready to. I'm doing a first day actually. So Monday the 9th, I'm going to be doing a talk at NDC. Really, really excited about that one, Sarah. I think I've spoken at NDC before, but it was literally just before COVID landed, and I did a 2-day workshop at NDC DevOps in Oslo, and basically I got Jacob came out there and he's like, "Daddy, you need to get home." I was like, "What's happened?" And he's like, "Norway is closing down." I was like, "What do you mean Norway is closing down?" And he's like, "The airports are closing. You may have to drive back to Scotland." At that point, I was like, "Hey, I probably should book a flight, right?" Thankfully, got home, wrapped up NDC DevOps. But it was one of those things that I've always wanted to do, and you're expecting raptures and applause and everything, and it was like done it. So I wrapped up NDC, and then basically what happened was I was sat here at this exact spot, and it was just like, and then it was ending. I was like, oh, that was so sad. I was really expecting a bit of a big buzz. So anyway, long story short, yes, we're back at NDC, and we're also out over in NDC Melbourne as well. So we're over between the 9th and 13th. We're in London. There'll be a 2-day workshop. Myself and Pete are doing that. I've got a talk. Pete's got a talk as well on the robot arm, and we're doing both that as well. So same thing. I think it's the 20th to the 24th of June. Myself and Pete will be in Melbourne, where I actually used to live. So if you're about and fancy a beer, and no, they don't actually drink Fosters in Australia, please do shout out. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about those events. I think I tried going to an event last year, and I don't think it was the right move. Now looking back, so the thing I'm really excited about is to just get out and do some talks, and because talks versus webinars, as you know, Sarah,
Yeah,
very different experience.
yeah, definitely. And to my point before, there's going to be swag at our booths. So if you're at the events, go up and say hello to the team because they'll, yeah.
Some fun little thing to share is we're actually this is my octopus. It's a sculpture by Just Sculptures,
Mhm.
and I call him Ollie the Octopus. And
Nice.
maybe one of these up for grabs for London anyway, for sure. It may be
Nice.
in my living room waiting to be loaded into the car when I drive down in a couple of weeks. But definitely check it out if you are at NDC London. Come along. We're giving this away, and we're giving away 2 Oculus Quests as well. So those are also down the stairs, and so far I've left them unopened. Yeah, no guarantees, but yeah, come along, say hello. There's stickers, there's socks, there's t-shirts, I'll be there, plus a bunch of as well. So please do come along.
Awesome. Unfortunately, I can't make either of those NDCs because I've got family commitments and stuff, but I am making my own way out to an in-person event, and this is a slight personal plug because I do run the event that I'm going to. But next Wednesday, the Glasgow Is Your User Group is going to be meeting up in Glasgow for the first time in 2 years. So big momentous occasion for us. It'll just be a small social gathering. We're going to have some food, some beers, some juice, and we've got some quiz prizes. Again, they're on their way to me. There could be some Lego involved there. So yeah, if you're in the Glasgow area, want to join us, please do head over to our website, sign up, come and say hello.
I just want to point something out. I won this bit of Lego at the Glasgow Azure user group, so please do get along. Free
Nice.
Lego is always welcome.
So yeah, it's going to be exciting to get back out in person and try and figure out what all that means nowadays, especially when we still have other things to think about in these events. So yeah. Also, Derek, I wanted to ask you about the new program that we're working on here at Octopus. So we're trying to launch a new MVP Insider program. Do you want to share who you're planning with that?
Definitely. So it's something I've wanted to do for a while, and we've kind of tried to do it in the past, and it's never really been truly looked after properly. So what we're doing just now is we're launching our Octopus Insiders program. That name may change; that's still up for debate. But yeah, so what we've got is we've onboarded our first 3 people. So with that, the MVP program is really all about just helping and rewarding people who go above and beyond in the community to help others. So we actually have a few people already. You can check that out on the link. Please do email us if you want to nominate yourself. We don't mind self nomination. Um, then please do get in touch with some examples. It may give us some chuckles, to be honest. But if you also want to nominate others in the community, again, if you email us at community@octopus.com, we'd happily have a look. And there's a whole bunch of things that you'll get. You'll get free Octopus swag, hoodies, t-shirts, the whole 9 yards. And then with that, free licenses and free access to the product team as well, and our team as well. So with that, please do reach out. It is something that we're going to be rolling out until the end of the year, and then hopefully by the end of the year we should have everything kind of locked in. And then there should be a community website and all that good stuff, and all the MVPs. The Octopus Insider stuff should all be there as well moving forward.
Brilliant. Yeah, I look forward to meeting all the insiders and speaking to them and helping to grow that aspect of the community as well. Um, just want to shout out, there are a couple of big events happening as well. So we've got Microsoft Build, which is happening next month, 24th to 26th of May. That's a virtual event again, so free to attend, have a look. I'm sure there's going to be fantastic announcements coming up. I heard a few of them at the MVP Summit, so there's lots of stuff happening there. Also, KubeCon and Cloud Native Con in Europe, I think it's in Spain, yes, it's coming up as well. So that's the 16th to the 20th. It's going to be virtual, as well as a hybrid and in-person event, as far as I'm aware. I believe that there is a ticketed cost. Derek, correct me if I'm wrong, this is about $75 for a ticket, although the
All
keynotes,
access.
yep, although keynotes are free, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct, along with the solution showcase as well. So
Excellent.
that's all free. Great, definitely a one to check out. And if you're keen on Kubernetes, sign up, right? Like you're going to get some really good stuff there.
Excellent. And I think AWS reInvent has announced their dates, that although that's later in the year, that's in the end of November, start of December, and that's going to be in person in Las Vegas. So lots of things to start to put into your calendar diary, maybe block off and potentially keep an eye out for them if you want to go to in-person events as well. Talking about events and insider program, we are actually working with one of our insiders to sponsor an event. Derek, is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, we've got Jeff Taylor, who was our first ever Octopus Insider. He's actually he's running another in-person event. That's on SQL Saturday in Jacksonville. That's on the 14th of May. Unfortunately, I won't get along. No one in the community team, mostly because I'll probably be trying to find my head after spending a week amongst all the people at NDC. But please do check it out. You can actually win some prizes there as well. I think Jeff's really, really excited about running his first in-person event, which is always good as well. So yeah, and also one that I forgot to actually mention as well is Redgate, the Past Data Summit. That's now been announced as well. So
Okay.
that's one to check out as well. I believe that's
Brilliant.
free to attend virtually, but is also in person, and that will be on in Seattle, I think.
Brilliant. Lots of things going on in the community space. One thing that we're obviously very enthusiastic about here at Octopus is DevOps and supporting what we can in that element. Now, I know there's lots of different reports that come out yearly about the state of DevOps and accelerating DevOps. Derek, I believe we're working in tandem with one of these reports. Is that correct?
We are. So for the last 6 months, I've been chatting to Google. Obviously, a little bit of a giveaway there. Yeah, so this year we're sponsoring the Accelerate or the Dora report this year. So front and centre will be Octopus Deploy. What we're doing here is we're just encouraging people to take the time to fill it out. I think it was 32,000 responses last year. I know that the report will be out soon, so please do check that out. And we'll be doing a webinar later in the year where we're going to actually get one of the researchers on, and they're going to talk about the report. Because that's the thing is the state of DevOps report is key, I find, because it gives you access to what everyone else is doing. You know, like when you're, you know what it's like when you're working in your team, right? You externally, yeah, you can read certain bits, but having that level of access to how others are performing, whether you're elite, etc. Because that's the thing, right? It's a great way to measure. You know, one of those things that I often see, and Alex Yates goes on about this all the time, is like deploy more often, not less often. So with that, definitely check it out. And if you haven't read it, please do read it. The last 8 years are all available. I'm really, really excited about this. I think the thing I'm excited about this, Sarah, is just it's something I've read, like personally read for the last 4 or 5 years, when it comes out, and I'm quite excited. Yeah, I know I probably need to get out more, but like I'm very excited because it's great to see DevOps adoption across the board. So yeah, please check it out, and please, if you have the time, go ahead and fill out the report. That's always going to make it so much better, Sarah.
Excellent. I look forward to reading that because, like you say, it's always good to find out what others are doing and either benchmark yourself against those or get inspiration for doing things better inside your organisation. So yeah, these reports are always very useful. So great to see that we're supporting that and helping the community as well. Talking of community, thank you to everybody that's joined us. Seen a few people join and say hello. Please do give us a shout out about where you are. We'd love to see where you're all joining us from today. Are you in the UK trying to run down the last of your Friday afternoon, or are you in other places just starting your day? We'd love to hear from you. Let's move on to industry news. So there's a few things that we've spotted inside the kind of tech world at the moment. And one thing I pulled out was that WhatsApp, whether you love or hate WhatsApp, is launching community chats and adding emoji reactions to your text messages. So interesting to see them kind of go down this route that we see with, say, Facebook Messenger, or Telegraph is also another messaging platform that has these kind of community chats where you can add a bunch of people and send them out and things like that. And more than just be able to one-on-one chat with someone, have a big community chat, and maybe send out action messages to a group or a team or whatever you may be. I know there's some controversy around various different chat platforms these days. Derek, what's your thoughts on WhatsApp? Are you using it, ditched it, not, trying to avoid everything?
I'm trying to avoid it, if I'm being honest. I think paranoia has finally landed. I use Signal for the most part, and they already have this. So a shout out
Yeah.
to Signal. They do. Do you know what's funny? I do use it. Like for instance, I do have a personal trainer, and there's like a team of us in a group, and it's one of those things that it's actually one of the things I miss. Like, see when it's like when you read something, you just want maybe stick a little thumbs up on it. So this is really cool. I'm trying to get away from WhatsApp, but no one else is, I think. So with that, yes, I'm still very much on WhatsApp. But no, it's great news. I think as well, like adding community chat to it is always going to be a good thing here. But there's Telegraph as well is another great one. So it'll be really, really good. To be honest, anything that makes communicating a little bit easier for people in the community is always going to be a good thing.
Yeah, I think I've got WhatsApp, Signal, and Telegraph installed on my phone because depending on who I'm talking to, maybe because I have friends all over the world and their different thoughts on it, I have 3 different apps to talk to people. So it's always interesting keeping on top of all of that. But yeah, fun times. Derek, you picked out a bit of news about Microsoft and Java. Do you want to share what that is?
So, as you can imagine, at the moment, as we're trying to hire Java folk, I'm very interested in it. And at the moment, so one of the things is Microsoft has actually teamed up with vFunction to allow you to convert your monolithic Java applications into a set of microservices. I think this is really cool. I think anything that just makes technology easier to move, because that's the thing is, I think the term that people it uses lift and shift, right? I've never been a huge fan of that term because it just kind of sounds like you're moving one bit of your and I've always preferred the term move and improve, and I think this falls under that. Effectively, what's going to be able to happen here is it'll cut up your Java into microservices and make it easier for you to deploy. That's really cool. And to be honest, with all that refactoring, that takes months sometimes. And anything that's going to help people move a little bit quicker to things like containerization, platform as a service, all that sort of good stuff is always going to be good. So that's really, really cool. I'm really I want to check that out and see how that works.
Awesome. You also picked up on that Puppet have been acquired by another company. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was right. So again, similar to you, I come from an operations background. So I've used Chef, I've used Puppet, and obviously I was a bit surprised when I saw really that recently that obviously Chef had been it, and then Puppet because obviously Puppet kind of does its own state of the DevOps report as well. So I was very interested to see that Perforce is expanding its portfolio and it's added the Puppet onto their own product as well. So yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Do you know what's funny? With Chef being acquired by Progress and Perforce with Puppet, those were the two big infrastructure as code and provisioning, etc. That when I did, and it's interesting to see that they now kind of been brought into two separate companies as an additional thing to the
Yeah.
product suite. I thought that was quite interesting.
It'll be interesting to see if it makes any changes or how that change, because often with an acquisition, you either maybe lose some talent because people don't want to work for that new company potentially, or it changes pricing structure, or it changes the direction of a tool. So be interesting to see what happens because, like you say, Chef and Puppet are 2 very large tools that lots of people use or are familiar with and are go-to products. So be interesting to see if this acquisition changes it for the bad or for the good. Hopefully for the good, obviously. But
Yes, we'll probably find out in the next 12 to 24 to 36 months, depending on that. But I think it could really be a good thing for Puppet. But I guess we'll see.
yeah. So talking about things that are potentially good or bad, depending on your viewpoint, there's been lots of chat this week about Netflix and adverts and even showing adverts for paid customers, which is a new concept, which is, I'm a Netflix customer and I love the fact that it's not got ads. And I don't know how I'd feel about them introducing ads. I appreciate they have a business model to support, but Ads, I don't know if that's the right way to go. Derek, what's your thoughts? Are you a Netflix customer?
I've been a Netflix customer for a long, long time, and I even on my own account, I don't share my password with anyone. Even my wife's like, "Will you put the password in?" "No, you're not getting it." Yeah, so I've been a long time Netflix yeah, user. I absolutely love it. The idea of ads, I'm not convinced. Like, I think with adverts are great when it's free, right?
Yeah.
Or low cost. But that's one of that's one of the things that has changed with Netflix is it used to be like £7 a month and everything's good. It's basically now became the new cable, right? It's like
Mm,
instead of obviously in the UK we have Sky, you have Foxtel, etc. in other countries. It's pretty much really if it added sports streaming, I think, some of the ones in the UK would likely be gone because that's pretty much why I watch TV. Obviously,
yeah.
I do like sports at times, but yeah, I'm kinda interested in one, and it was funny, I only found out about this, from Paul Stovall, who was joking about obviously how he'd been paying for it, via a paid for news service, which still shows ads, which then obviously talked about another platform
Yeah.
showing adverts. I don't mind ads, but yeah, if I can avoid them, because you do still get some adverts.
Mm,
It does feel like adverts are kind of taking over the world a little bit, though. Have you tried to watch a game of football recently, or for
yeah.
those in the US and Australia, etc., soccer? Um, you've got that 15-minute break, and you get about 14 and a half minutes of adverts and
Yeah.
like 30 seconds review. Interesting though, interesting. I think it will be interesting to see how Netflix
Yeah.
adopts. So yeah,
Be interesting to see if they're going to hit up their paid customers because I use like YouTube and I use the free version of YouTube, which is littered with ads, but I'm accepting of that because I'm not paying for that service. So I accept the ads because I'm not paying for the service. But if I'm paying for the service, I don't want to have the
no,
ads. Like if Netflix offered you a free plan and then it was littered with adverts, I could
that's fine.
absolutely support that. But I'm paying for it and they're suddenly changing their model. So yeah, interesting. Definitely interesting.
It's funny you should say that about YouTube though. I did use the free version until I had my son, and now I have to have the paid version is like £15 for like something like YouTube Family.
Mhm.
Mostly I do it so now it saves me money, so he doesn't see adverts about the latest new Paw Patrol toy. So as much as yes, that obviously paying for it does cost you money, it's actually saving me money from going to many of the expensive toy stores as well.
I love that. That's such a dad thing to do, Derek.
It literally is to avoid adverts, and it's not to do the adverts. Like, yeah, daddy has enough. You have
Yeah.
enough, yeah, young man. You do not need to see the latest and greatest toy.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, on that note, folks, we are at the end of the show. So thank you so much for joining us. Please do, if you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because we do have lots of fun stuff coming up. We've got more OctoChats. We've got some live stream with some Microsoft experts as well. We're going to be talking about that next month. So lots going on for us in terms of the YouTube platform. So please do hit that subscribe button. Thank you, Derek, for joining me. Appreciate you giving up your time on your Friday afternoon. And yeah, hopefully we'll all catch you again in another OctoChats. See you, folks.